I'm having a brain blast. I'm rewatching My Little Pony again because nostalgia is beautiful. And I just finished watching the premiere and I'm like, oh my gosh. Because I made a video a few days ago about how, like, the only way to make a My Little Pony movie good would be if they just already, like, not the only way, but a fun way to do it would be if they didn't really have it be ponies and it just be people in a magical world that in the end gain, like, like the Equestria Girls ears and tails thing or something. Because I still don't see why live action's necessary. And I'm like, okay, so just make it the first two episodes of the show. And I was watching it and I'm like, yeah, we could expand on the whole part where she goes to visit each one of them and we get to know them a little bit, have that be a little bit longer. So the reveal of, like, Celestia maybe isn't halfway through the movie, but like at least 40 to 50 minutes in. Or I don't know. But then I'm like, and then you can have, like, if you want to have there be more character depth, because it's like, what, an hour and 30 minutes of a movie, the premieres together is about 40 minutes. Like, that's not even enough time for half a movie. So it would be really interesting if you did like the premiere plus things that happen in season one, like add to the Twilight having to go check on preparations for the summer sun celebration, add it to be like Twilight has, like, from the beginning, because they mention her being on break from school, and like that's why Spike wanted to go to Moon Dancer's party and Twilight doesn't want to go because I don't know, but she's on break from school. So we could have the movie start off with, maybe, would it be the legend? Would that be it? Like, it could be the legend of Nightmare Moon, and maybe add on to, like, the end where it's like talking about Celestia, like, taking on both of their responsibilities and ruling alone all of Equestria. I don't know how it goes. We can add to that, like, and and she and she chose to something that spread her wisdom throughout all generations. Oh, I also came up with a fun plot point to make it justify that they're people instead of ponies. It could be like the poniness used to be in everyone, so we're even adding a bit of G5. Like, maybe like people still, like, there's people that live in the sky and there's people more to the ground, and there's like the unicorn areas, but instead, like, they still could have their traits, but maybe, like, there's something missing. Like when Nightmare Moon first appeared 1,000 moons ago, we could say, like, she got rid of the poniness in people and they just turned them into normal people. And that's why learning magic is so hard, and that's why Celestia's school exists, and maybe not everyone can fly. So, by the end of the movie, when the elements of harmony are found out and they all get their element necklaces, it could be like, that's when they get the pony ears and the tails and they get their horns and their wings back, and it would be like, oh my gosh, that's the My Little Pony, you know? And I also came up with, if you want to do that and have cutie marks, uh, the Equestria Girls dolls always did this thing I really liked where they put their cutie marks on their cheek, which I think would be the best way to make it work, because I'm not, this is a kids franchise. So, okay, sorry. So the plot starts with it still being like the prophecy at once upon a time in the magical land of Equestria, and it can be the book opening anyway. And it can be the same legend, and this could be like a history class or something on the last day of school before break, because Twilight is still by this time studying under Celestia. It's a more independent study, but they still mention she's on a break, so I assume she's still in school, like maybe university school, because then she goes on independent study for the rest of the seasons until she becomes an alicorn. So I don't think the movie should end with her being an alicorn. It should end with the way that the premiere ends. I think that's the best way to do it. Um Oh wait, no, but then I had an idea, but we're gonna see it in a bit. Okay, so it starts with the prophecy and everything, but maybe that's not the history class. We could say like Twilight was reading this during class because it's that awkward last day of school thing where there's barely anyone in class and you're not even learning. And maybe she's like one of two people in the classroom. It can be her and Moon Dancer just sitting together and reading in silence. Like it could be like the whole like Celestia chose to share her wisdom with the later generations of ponies and keep even a fraction of magic left alive, and it can pan down to the school in the form of her magic school of gifted unicorn people, of gifted people. I don't know, something. I don't have a script. I don't do script. Script? What's that? No. So it can pan down, and then we see Twilight reading that out of a book, going, "That's like Elements of Harmony. That's familiar, right?" And then Moon Dancer can be like, "Wait, what? Have you heard of the Elements of Harmony? Oh, I don't know. Something something." They just chat about what they're reading. Uh, Bell rings. Oh my gosh, we're free! Yay! And then Moon Dancer can be like, have that awkward last day of school conversation of, I don't know why you insisted on coming to school on the last day. Like, we don't even do anything. She's like, well, I want to keep my record straight because I'm an A student, I'm an honor student, you know, Twilight nerdiness. And then, like, it could be the beginning of break. Oh my gosh, do you have anything planned for break? Well, I wanted to get ahead on this studying thing. And she's like, why do you always study during breaks? Well, you do too. Yeah, I know. And it could be like the conversation, and that can be the, hey, I was planning on having a little get together. You want to come? I don't know. I wanted to learn more about this thing I read in class. Maybe later. And that can be like the setup for that plot point. I don't think it's gonna come back in this one, but that's okay. It's fine. She leaves her in the show anyway, so it's literally okay. So then they split off. She goes back to her library. And what's Spike? Well, make her little brother. In the show, they already had that a thing. We could say, like, maybe he also wants to go to Celestia's school when he grows up. And her parents are away, and they have her taking care of him while they're gone. He doesn't have to be a kid. He can be like a teenager, which I think could work. Or maybe he went to another school and they're just living together. I don't know. It could be a good way to talk about how like it could be inclusive because not all families have parents and siblings in the same household. It's good. So, and that's how it works, and it's the same scene of like, "Spike, do you know about this?" And she like looks into it. She figures out the prophecy and everything. Maybe the scene is more long, or actually I think the scene was fine as it was in the show. I think it was paced just right. We could even have some fun little like in the background, fun little imagery like in the show, how she's like in the hourglass, which was fun. And then Spike can still have his fire magic. He could be like an adopted sibling, and like it can be people that have aspects of different mythical creatures, like they're like not anthropomorphic, but it could be like a race thing. And if we want to bring back the whole racial thing that they keep bringing back for MLP, I don't know. I'm literally just yapping. Anyway, so like we still get the scene where it's like, you have to start reading those books, and she's shocked. And then he can be like, "Oh, wait, but she did ask you to do something for the Summer Sun celebration, and that's the hit go check on preparations." And I had this idea where it can be like, if we want to just have season 1 as a whole, so it feels like we have enough content to put in a. Is this season 1 or season 2? The cutie mark episode, the one where they talk about their cutie marks. I think that's season 2. I don't know, but that's still like early show, and I think it's good to know that. Uh, but yeah, like it could be like, oh yeah, she wants you to go check on the preparations and make friends. Oh frick, I forgot to add something. I was thinking like maybe she's trying to. We can pull in Equestria Girls 3, where she's trying to apply to independent study, so she doesn't have to go to school every day. Like, have that be a whole thing. And even add that she wants to make sure that Spike is okay because she's going to school on her own and, like, their parents aren't living with them. That could be a good way to do. Oh, that's good. That's fun. Yeah, so that can be, like, her motivation. I want to have independent study so I can focus more intensively myself on what you give me, and so I can take care of Spike more. And that can be her main goal at the beginning. And that can be in her first letter, where she also warns about Nightmare Moon. And then Spike can be like, or maybe like she already sent that letter before, and like she wrote the imperative letter about the prophecy, and Spike can be like, uh, anyway, regarding that independent study application you submitted, I do have a few requirements for you to fulfill because I do think that you would be a good fit for this program. And it can be the whole, I need to make sure that you are independent enough to take this responsibility, so I need you to go check on the preparations for the Summer Sun celebration. And she can be like, "Oh yeah, I can do that, of course." And then also, and then I thought of this because it would be a really good way to tie this in and have even more connect. Because there's one thing about the premiere that always irked me, which is the part where she goes, "How much I care about them, love hearing about them," and it's like, wait, but you never showed that much. And I know we didn't have enough time to show it, but it's a movie. We have time to show it now. So we could have it be like, um, frick. Or we could have it be like, oh, frick, I remember now. Sorry. Can you tell I'm neurodivergent? So Celestia included in the 2 tickets to the Grand Galloping Gala in the letter. Right, we're bringing that back. And it can be, the other thing I need you to do is I need to know that you can make good friends and that you can find a way to. Oh wait, but Celestia already knew about the other 5. She already knew about them, so she can have 5 tickets or 6, one for Spike. 6 tickets for the Grand Galloping Gala. It's like, if you can manage to make friends to bring to the Great Galloping Gala with you by the end of the month, I'll allow you to do your independent study wherever you please. And then she can be like, 5 friends? That's way too many. And then she can be like, "Oh, I can just invite Moon Dancer and Minuet." And then Spike goes, "Oh, it says here it has to be new friends." New friends? How does she expect me to find new friends that quickly? Who even needs friends? And Spike can be like, "Well, it's from the princess." So then, fine. So then we go to Ponyville, and we could have a bit of like maybe we can have that same cut be like, while he's reading it, her like her packing up to go to Ponyville and her going on the sky carriage. Or maybe we could say during the train, because we don't really ever see sky chariots again ever. So we could just have her go on train or on balloon, because that's the freaking thing from the intro. But that takes a long time. The train, I think, would make the most sense. I don't know any of them, but her packing up, getting ready, and then like on the way there, Spike finishes reading it, and it's like, "Oh, she set us up in a library. That means you'll be able to study whatever you were looking at before." And she's like, "Oh, you're right." And then she's still trying to avoid all the friends she's making. But we can have each scene with the main 6 be much longer, like with Applejack, instead of it being that quickly and then cut to after when she's super full. We get to hear a little bit more about what that is. And it's like, why are all these ponies here? Oh, it's our yearly Apple family reunion. You just happen to come right on time. You're basically part of the family now. I'm not good at my southern accent. I don't know. And it can be like that whole thing and show off that she's super strong and she's super honest. Have her interacting more with her family, like in the Apple family reunion episode in season 3. More characterization, because we actually have characterization now, unlike in the pilot episodes. So that's fun, right? And then when we cut, oh wait, frick, I forgot. I had this idea. No, so it's fine. This could be after the Applejack thing or before even. I don't know, but I wanted to have a scene with Pinkie Pie that fleshed her out a little bit before, which could be like like on the list of things she needs to go check the preparations for, it lists catering and desserts as two different things. And like they could have a little thing where it's like, why would they put those as two different things? Like, and then it's like, that's weird because it is technically different, and maybe you could have like a fun Twilight being a smart cookie, actually, Spike, cooking and baking are very different things, so it makes sense that they would have different people in charge of it. All right, whatever. And then they go into Sugar Cube Corner and they see Pinkie Pie at the front counter preparing stuff because now we know she works there. And then she goes, "Hello, I'm," and then she turns around and it's the same reaction. And then there we go, okay. And then we get to meet Mr. and Mrs. Cake. Maybe they already have the babies or not. I don't know. Whichever is fine. I think it would be cute if they already had them because this is a new world. It's a little bit of a reboot, so it doesn't matter. And then have that happen, the Applejack scene, however order. I think it would make more sense to have her go check on the catering first and then the desserts. And then when we go meet Rainbow Dash, maybe have maybe have them go to her house first and she's not there because they might have listed out her address because the sky wasn't clear. It could be like, well, the sky isn't clear, so we need to go find this Rainbow Dash. So they go to her house and she's not there. And they could even talk about how she's basically rich. Like, what a fancy house for someone who just works for the weather team. Something like that. Because I don't think they make that much money, honestly. And then have the scene happen kind of outside her house because it has pretty clear vision of the sky around there. I think it just to show how big Ponyville is. It would be fun, you know? Also, just to make the scenes longer. I want the scenes to be longer. I want to get to know them better. And we get to know a lot about Rainbow Dash. I mean, we learn about the Wonderbolts. We learn about all of them. It's pretty good. They're such good episodes, but it's a longer movie, so we can afford to spend more time with them. And we do the 10 seconds flat thing, and that's fun. And, that happens. And then when she goes to check with Rarity, she goes back, and then that same thing happens. Maybe get rid of how Spike is low-key in love with Rarity. I know it's a big part of the show. And I know that it's a reference to how kids get crushes a lot on adults. But it's not fun. I don't think it's necessary. The most we could do would be like him being all nervous, but not absolutely love struck to the point of floating up in the air, If we make him a teenager, it would be more of a, oh my gosh, she's so pretty, I'm low-key scared of her sort of thing. Like a tween teenager, I don't know. So we enter and we meet Rarity again. Twilight's hair is it still gonna get messed up during the Rainbow Dash scene? I don't know. Because in the Rainbow Dash scene, what happens? She wants to check if the sky is clear because it was her job. It's not. Then Rainbow comes in, crashes into the ground, and puts Twilight in the mud. And then she cleans her and she dries her, and then her hair gets all messy. It's still a pretty cute gag. I think it would be fun. Still, either way, to include something like that. If not the hair, maybe her outfit gets all dirty. I don't know. Sure. They're people. Remember, they're people. We're not thinking about ponies anymore, which means we can have fun with character design. Yay! My favorite topic ever, other than writing about trauma and characterization. I love anything writing, anything creative. I love. Anyway, sorry. So yeah, something happens to make Twilight be messy and have that same thing happen. It's like, and then when they meet Rarity, they can maybe talk more about the decorations. Like, oh my gosh, your decorations are beautiful. And then maybe have a moment of Rarity like, oh, I know, I based this wall on this era of whatever. And maybe she can talk about like how she had to research a lot about what the Summer Sun celebration was. And it could even be like, did you know it was originally a celebration against this old myth or something about the moon? So I added a moon elements on this wall and then had this wall be all bright because it represents the sun coming up. Something like that, and it can be all Rarity being all creative and fun. And then Twilight, and maybe she messes up something, and Twilight can go, no, actually, it happened like this. And Rarity's not listening because she doesn't give a crap until she sees her and goes, my hair? Well, what about your hair? And then we go back to her boutique and have her try on outfits. Are we including songs in this, by the way? Because if we have time for songs, I think, I don't know, that would be cute. Because we're cutting out the intro, I'm assuming. And if because Pinky's song is pretty important for that. And oh frick, I haven't been thinking about musical numbers at all. I think if the montage of her doing like too pointy, too fluffy, not fluffy enough, like that whole thing could be a little nod to Art of the Dress. Have it be a little dress up montage of her getting ready, and then she just ends up looking the same at the end or a little bit different. And it could even be like a oh, look how beautiful you look. Now you have an outfit for the ceremony. And it can even be like and then she ends up wearing it later and that can be all cute. And in each scene she starts getting a little bit more comfortable with interacting with them. I think that's a fun way to show how she's actually learning, to like people. Like in the Apple family scene, she can start getting like really invested in learning about the family. Like maybe we learn like Granny Smith. Maybe we get some trauma dumping about Applejack's parents from Granny Smith, like Applejack being so attentive to everyone else in the family, and Twilight can turn to Granny Smith like, what's got her so worked up? And she can be like, oh, it always gets like this around the family reunion time. It's something maybe she can be like, she's always trying to carry on her father's legacy. What's wrong with her father? They're dead. Holy crap. Like we get stuff like that and she learns more, you know, to care about people. And then during Pinkie Pie's scene, I mean her scene is actually the party at the end, but I don't know, it's a fun little gag, I guess. If the baby cakes are there too, like they could even be like I don't know, babies are cute as hell moment. Anyway, we move on to Rainbow, and then Rainbow Dash. It could be like messing with each other, like joking around with each other, because that does happen a little bit in that scene where it's like the Wonderbolts, the fastest flyers ever. That's kind of cute. Have little teasing moments like that. That's fun. Um, what was I saying? And then like during Rarity's scene, she learns that like others can help her feel more beautiful. Like each scene she's learning more about herself as she learns about others. And when she's talking about Cantor a lot, maybe instead of running away from her, oh, hurry before she tries to dye my mane a different color, she can be like, oh, now you go, darling. And remember, you can always come to me if you want to talk about anything, especially Canterlot, something like that. So she gets more comfortable by the time she goes to talk to Fluttershy. And then when she talks to Fluttershy, she's even more patient and oh, and she starts getting a little bit irritated. Oh, I also wanted the scene with Fluttershy to happen at her cottage because we now have a cottage for her. I know it's in the intro, but I don't know why they were just at a random place inside of Ponyville. Maybe even in like the Ponyville Plaza where the fountain is, it could be somewhere in the town that we know. You know? Yeah. Um What? Oh yeah, so yeah, that scene can happen basically the same way. Uh, and yeah, I don't know. I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, the Fluttershy scene I think can happen in the same way because it's supposed to be a little bit brief until she walks home with them with Spike. I don't think why would she get invested in Spike? I didn't think about that. Oh my gosh, I just thought about it. Spike can still be a dragon. Maybe dragons can turn human. And then when they're really tired, they turn back into dragons. That would be kind of fun. Fun little world building. And it can be like, oh my gosh, Twilight, we've been walking around all day. And then maybe he turns back into a dragon. And then she's like, oh man, well, good thing that we had everything done by now. And then Fluttershy can turn and be like, oh my gosh, a baby dragon, what? And then we get to learn about Spike. Maybe he fell asleep on the way, and Twilight can tell her, like, oh yeah, um, me and my family have basically raised Spike since he was a baby because because I helped him hatch when I got my cutie mark. And this is where the cutie mark thing starts happening because I wanted them to bond about their cutie marks a little bit. And I wanted to have those scenes happen here too because we have a movie length, like an hour and a half. By this time, we're probably like an hour in or something. The forest scene doesn't need to be that long. I don't know. I'm just trying to think, right? I don't know how to write movie scripts. I should learn. I do know a lot about play scripts because I've been in a lot of not a lot, but in a couple, like 6 so far. I've been in 6 plays. Technically 5 because we did the same one twice, but it counts as 6 because I did different things. What was I doing? Oh yeah, sorry. But yeah, I don't know. This is what I like my dreams for what the scenes would look like. But yeah, so we have Twilight tell Fluttershy about Spike, and that's kind of the exposition for him being there, and it could be emotional, and they empathize with each other. And it could be like, well, I'll see you later at the ceremony. Oh, yeah, your bird sounded beautiful, by the way. Thank you. And then we're back at Twilight's house, and everything's quiet. And the surprise party happens without her being like, I want to focus. Maybe we can have her go, oh, that's right. I got so caught up on all these new ponies that I forgot I wanted to study about the elements of, and then it's the surprise, and then Pinky's there, and funny, silly, goofy time. And Twilight does kind of get impatient here. Maybe she gets mad at them for trespassing at her house. She's like, I'm not really much of a party person. And I really just wanted to study. And then, oh, it's like, I also need to tuck Spike into bed or something. That's why she goes off into the other room. And, I don't know, who's gonna walk in to tell her it's time for the sunrise, because Spike's asleep. Spike is asleep right now. I just did that. I just made that decision. Frick. No, I think it works. It can work. Because she's already formed a little bit of a connection with Rarity and Fluttershy. And Applejack. Maybe not as much with Rainbow Dash and Pinkie Pie because they just met and those were more infuriating situations. But it could be like Applejack comes in like, hey, Sugar Cube, it's almost time for the ceremony. And she can be like, oh, okay, I'll be right there. And maybe she was done getting ready and she was looking back in the book and she was like, I really hope that ceremony isn't today. I'd hate to ruin such a beautiful moment or something, because like she was like, I was already starting to have fun. Um and then maybe like the party's still happening on the side. Like the conversation with Pinkie Pie could be like as fun as like, oh my gosh, I know everyone, just everyone, and I knew that you were new, and that stuff, and Twilight can keep telling her, yeah, well, I don't have time for this. You can't just, I don't know how to party. Maybe this could be a song moment. I don't know. How do we translate this scene into the point I'm trying to make? Like, Twilight having fun in each one. Maybe the party shouldn't exist? Would the party still exist? No, but she's the super duper party pony. Named Pinkie. That's the whole thing. She's Pinkie Pie. Or maybe Fluttershy could be in her house. And then Pinkie Pie and the other three walk in with the party cannon and everything's decorated. And it's just them. Not all these other ponies. Maybe we could have maybe we could have like Pinkie Pie like Starlight in season 5 like in the background of all the scenes like stalking her, and she found out who she has been talking to and go, "Oh, right. These are the friends I'm inviting to her party." And then she throws the party in her house, waking Spike up or something. I don't know. And then like it's just them. And she's like, "Oh, I don't really have time for this." "Well, why not?" "Well, it's a library or something. Libraries are supposed to be quiet." "Oh, what do you mean a party that's quiet? Boring." All that stuff. It can still happen. I'm trying to make sense of this. I'm trying to make sense. It's just them 6 at the party. We could even have the party cannon there. Like, have her walking with the party cannon, like, "Look out!" And it's like, "Surprise!" "What?" "We threw your surprise party as a welcome to Ponyville." I'm like, "Oh, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be in Ponyville." And we can still have the, "Hi, I'm Pinkie Pie and I threw a party just for you." That whole thing. Yeah, I don't know. By this point in the premiere, it's like it's the entire first episode. That's 20 minutes. No, like 10 minutes? 10 minutes? That all happens in 10 minutes? Oh my god. Dude, what the hell are these writers on, man? What the hell? How did they do that? They made it feel so long. There's no way that was just 10 minutes. It had to be 15. Max, right? Like, or minimum 15 minutes. I guess. I don't know. But by the time of the party, like the party happens and it's time to watch the sunrise, and that's when the episode ends. I don't know. I turned that scene into like a slumber party for the summer sun celebration. It could be like "I decided to throw you a slumber party at your own house to celebrate you being here for being new to Ponyville." It's like, I didn't have consent to this. "Well, of course you did, silly. We're already staying up for the summer sun celebration, so you might as well just have us." And then like we can have one of them be like, I told you so, Pinkie. This was not a good idea." "Well, we're already here, darling." And then, like, I don't know, something like that. And it could be, like, I don't know, they just hang out with each other while Twilight is trying to study. And we can have, like a "What's that you're reading?" And she's like, "Oh, it's just some old book about prophecies about the summer sun celebration. But there's just something I can't figure out. It must be nothing, because by now she's kind of distracted from it because of the friend she's making." We have to build the trust like this, because there's no way trust would happen in the... I know we had to speed it up and it's a kid show, but this is a movie with depth that has this fan base, which means we have to have some sort of build up for it. And this could be a cute scene. It could be like a cute like slumber party scene where they're all hanging out, eating snacks. The hot sauce thing can still happen. Stuff like that. And we learn about Pinkie Pie, maybe while she's on the side. Like, she can be like, "Oh my gosh, my cupcakes are ready." "When did you make cupcakes?" "Oh, I put them in just at the time when you went inside the house so you wouldn't notice." "You were in here before, but I saw you walk in." "Don't question it. Don't question it." They all say in unison. Because she's breaking the fourth wall and stuff. And it's like, what is the deal with Pinkie Pie, and they're like, well, she's just always like this. She likes to make everyone feel welcome and like they belong. And it could be like, yeah, I remember when I first moved to Ponyville. I didn't really know anyone, but Pinkie somehow made me feel really welcome. Because it's Rainbow Dash, she came in. Because I think it's really interesting that Rainbow Dash moved into Ponyville on her birthday. Isn't that weird? I think it's because she ran away from home, right? And it could even be like we could get more on Rainbow Dash here because we didn't get a lot on her scene. She could be like, yeah, I'd run away from home and Pinkie Pie really helped me feel welcome and helped me find a place to live. And I live there to this day. Is that why your house is so nice? Yeah, she did a whole fundraiser for me. Can you believe that? And they can be like, wow, she's so kind. Frick, no, but that's Fluttershy. You know, something like that. And it can be all nice and sweet. And, frick, I'm trying to think. And maybe they all get ready together for the ceremony, and then they go over to the main hall. And then it's time to watch the sunrise. Spike, wake up. It's sunrise. Frick. Or maybe he woke up by the time they were there. And I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It's all concepts. I really want to write this now. I want to write this and do a read-through with my friends. That would be really fun. Anyway, so we're at the ceremony. Same stuff happens with the mayor. As mayor of Ponyville, I'm pleased to present Princess Celestia. She's not there. What? And then the cut to... Oh, wait, no, we don't cut to a commercial break yet. The cut to commercial... Oh, wait, no. Cut to the end of the episode is Nightmare Moon appearing. And it can be like, oh no, it's the thing I was talking about earlier, the prophecy. And we could even have the scene in the library where she's like, I really hope the prophecy isn't true. Sorry, have that happen while she's at the sleepover with her friends, like getting all ready. Or not even a sleepover. It could be like a get ready for the ceremony party. Something like that. Anyway, so we're at the ceremony and Celestia isn't there. That scene can happen just fine. Maybe just add a bit of, like, Marimar explaining. Or maybe no, because Celestia would have done that. Celestia would have been the one to go. As you all know, this ceremony began because of a... But that doesn't happen because she's not there. And then it's Nightmare Moon. Oh no! I don't know what else I would genuinely add to that scene. So anyway, she's not here, and Nightmare Moon is here, and oh my gosh, it's... Who would play any of these people? I don't know why they did live action. It's so weird. It's so weird. If this isn't the plot to the live action movie, I'm gonna pull a Geeky Vander Wiki and turn this into my own, like, movie. That would be fun. Me right as school is about to start again? Nah, sorry. So the same scene of, like, people are chasing her, like, guards, seize her, you know, stuff like that. And, like, all the unicorns are trying... wait, no, but there is no people with magic here, because that's a thing in the show. Like, unicorns have vague magic, but only really smart unicorns, which are the ones Twilight's are, have... I just remembered, sorry. So, anyway, we're here, Celestia's gone. Oh no, it's the thing I was talking about. Your Nightmare Moon. Well, someone that remembers me, you know, something like that. And then when she's gone, all her friends, instead of being suspicious about her when she runs back home, or maybe they're there, and it could even be like Mayor Mare sends them to go find what's going on, because Mayor Mare feels kind of really useless sometimes, not gonna lie, so we could have her have a moment of her moment. Oh, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so Twilight's like, it's Nightmare Moon. Who's Nightmare Moon? And she explains it to all of them. We have to do something. Here, let's all go to the library. And then they all go to the library and figure it out. Okay, the mayor's gone. I'm sorry. I couldn't justify it. I couldn't justify her doing anything. I'm sorry, Mayor Mare. You're a queen that uses hair dye for some reason. So anyway, we're at Twilight's library. Spike this time goes to sleep for real. Maybe we could have him have that just be a trait, I guess, for him. I don't know. Spike is fun, but we could like I feel like he works if he's a teenager because he's all sassy and stuff. Me as a teenager saying this. I mean, what? I'm a teenager. You, as if the audience couldn't tell through my voice. Not for long. It's not very. I barely actually. I don't know. So anyway, um, so we're at the library, and the where did you get that? It was under E. You know the books. We get the book, the ruins, the castle of the two sisters. What's that? Apparently, it's a place old ruins lost in the Everfree Forest. The Everfree Forest? Yes, we have to go to the Everfree Forest. We're not going there. Yes, we are. We're at the Everfree Forest now. We teleport. And then we have the same thing where it's like, the Everfree Forest just ain't natural. I'm trying to think. Yeah, that like the whole thing where it's like it's just not natural and all the challenges can still happen along the way. We could even give them fun fantasy weapons. I was just thinking like if we're going to go on a quest, it's like a D&D party, Like I don't know what all the D&D classes are, but Fluttershy would absolutely be a bard class, which is ironic because she's shy. That would be really cute. She's the only shy bard. That would be really cute. You see it, right? Yeah, I know there's probably one that fits, but you know me. If you know me, you know me. I'm not allowed to say it because I promised myself that I wouldn't say it out loud, but I'm insinuating to it. I don't know, but it could have like each be their D&D classes that have to do with their pony types, and they all have like brought stuff to be ready for the I don't know. So we see like the Manticore, and they're all ready to fight it with their magical D&D weapons, but then Fluttershy gets in the way. And then, all that stuff. The same things happen. Yeah. Can we cut any of those out? We can't because they're all like the final thing to show that they're each element. Maybe okay. Sorry. Maybe the Applejack one could honestly change because I think hers is more loyalty. What could we change it into? What could that change into? Maybe we could give it to Pinkie Pie and then like have it be like it just looks bad falling off a cliff. No, that's not. No, I think the trees work because it's kids movie. But like the cliff with Applejack thing, like does that work for honesty? Like we could do like the sort of thing from the season 2 premiere where it was like no, but because that was an anti-honesty thing. I mean, like, I don't know, something. I think it's fine, but also it just doesn't feel right. Like, what I'm telling you is the honest truth. Nah, it works. It works. We can keep it. I don't know why I don't like it. There's something weird about it. But I think it works. I think it works. So we keep all that challenge stuff there. Do Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy still help save Twilight, though? Does that still happen? Can they still fly? Or do they just have weather powers? Can the Pegasi still fly? But I didn't give them pony traits, so how would they fly? They levitate. They levitate. Ah, yes, makes sense. That's so stupid. Maybe like we could be like only a few people are left over that have the ability to fly, and um it's not a very common thing. So maybe Rainbow Dash can still fly, but Fluttershy can't. But then Oof. I don't know. They could just be people with wings, no ears or tail. I think that could work. That could work. Or maybe they like are normal people that can twirl around and then when they're done twirling they just have wings. That could work. That could honestly work. Have them superpower style. And then the unicorn people that are actually can unicorn, like that have enough magical ability to do magic, they just use their hands. And then once everyone gets their poniness back after Nightmare Moon is defeated, they have horns now. And and then like only like Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy have the ability to turn to get wings, but not all Pegasi people do. And by the end they just all have them permanently. Like they don't even need to do the twirl. I don't know. I just keep thinking of like the Sims. You know the Sims, like they change their outfit and they just like they jump, have a little spin effect, and then they have their other outfit. It's like that. That's how I envision it. But it doesn't have to be like that. I don't know. But yeah, then they would save Twilight. You know, it's that stuff. That stuff. We can even have a scene where Twilight shows off more magical ability outside of just when she's defeating Nightmare Moon. Uh, cuz like we need a scene to show how she's the glue of the group because the element of magic is the spark that keeps them all together. It's the one person of the friend group that's there to keep them all together. So how do we make that work? Because so far Pinkie Pie has been the spark that keeps the group together. It's like we need to use teamwork, like leadership, you know? How do we show that? I guess because she knows what to do and people turn to her like, Twilight, what do we do? Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I don't know, that just makes sense to me now. Okay, cool, cool. Um, yeah. So yeah, all this stuff happens. I was thinking like Stephen Magnet can literally be almost the same. Maybe not the mustache, because we used the funness of flash animation to make the mustache thing work. It could be like, how do we make that work in live action? Because it'd have to be someone CGI'd or something CGI that looks like a sea monster. It can be someone, but that would be weird cats movie sort of thing. I don't like that. Like people just with pony ears and tail is fine, you know, because it's just it's cute Equestria girl sort of thing, like cat girls. But like straight up lizard people, if they can make it look good, then sure, that can be where the budget goes, other than the sets and the costumes and the everything. I don't know, frick. But let's say we have the budget to do it. It can be someone like that the look that Loki looks fine, or it can be like a because you know how there's a lot of like spirits of the lake sort of thing in a lot of fiction. Like he could be like the spirit of that river or something and they made it cry because of the same thing. Maybe not the mustache, but it messed with its outfit. Oh no. And then what is Rarity gonna give up? We don't have a tail anymore. Oh frick. Her hair? No, that doesn't work. Oh no, the flaw in each one, because the shadow bolts thing works. If I came up with the thing, the Manticore thing works. The honesty cliff situation and the trees with Pinkie Pie work. But how are we gonna do Stephen Magnet? Because it like I think that's a good change to make it not like more humanoid, so we don't have to do that much. And it could be like a damn. Maybe it's like super. Maybe it's a very queer coded guy, like Stephen Magnet, that like got something stolen from them. So, or something broke that they had, and Rarity gives up She's about jewelry. She's about gems. So maybe she like her design that she has right now because it's the same. It would be the same outfits they have for the ceremony. I don't think they have enough time to change. So they would like she would have a bunch of like crystals and gems on her, and maybe something happened with the guy that like he had. I'm being so vague because I have no idea what I can do. Uh let's see. Well, like here, let's do some googling real quick. Lake spirits. Is that a thing? Is that like a lake spirits trope fiction? Like where does that come from? Is that like not me? Not like that. Like like when like a Mori, it's like the lady on the lake where like you tell her jokes and then like she gives you stuff. I don't know. Oh my gosh, I'm stupid. I'm freaking stupid. I'm stupid. Make it a sea pony. Bro. And then we can allude to the sea ponies and I was trying too hard. I apologize. I was trying too hard. And it could be like same thing. Maybe it's like sea ponies that are just here instead of in Sequestria, but they're still sea ponies, so I think it still works within the lore. I don't think this is gonna be a long cinematic universe of live action My Little Pony movies, but if we're keeping the lore connected to the past G4 sort of thing, then I guess. So, um, I don't know, frick. Sea ponies in My Little Pony, it's they have the pearl, the magic gumball. If you know that reference, I love you. Everyone that's in My Little Pony knows that reference. What am I talking about? So, oh wait, is that old? Is that considered an old reference now? That was years ago. Sorry, we're getting off track. But in the movie, it's like their pearl that shape ships them. So maybe it's not that, but it could be like this. There's like an angry sea pony that's like a guy. I don't know why. As soon as I said sea pony, I thought of a girl. No, we have to keep queer coded Stephen Magnet. Just make him a sea pony instead of a serpent. Or we could have him be kind of both, like in Monster High, like how they had like the Twilight. I mean, not Twilight. Frick. The when they turn into the ocean designs, Frankie's an electric eel, something like that. I don't know. I'm not smart. I will come up with this eventually. It's like it's a sea pony that's sort of snaky. Yeah. What did they lose? Something shiny that's sparkly with gems that Rarity probably had another one of and just gave it up. And that could be the replacement later with the necklace from the elements. So it's fine. I'm keeping it. We're moving on. This took way too long for me to decipher. Anyway, so we reach the ruins of the two sisters, and we could even talk about how this looks like an old castle. Like, this looks like it was lived in. What is this place? Oh, I forgot. I wanted to include them talking about their cutie marks. I mean, we could just have that added on to when they're hanging out with each other at the beginning. Like, when they're all hanging out in their respective sections. Like, the trauma dumping for Rainbow Dash when she left home could also have to do with it. And then maybe like at Twilight's house before it's time to watch the sunrise, they make the connection of, maybe we were all meant to meet at some point. And then it's time to watch the sunrise, and then okay, yeah, I like that. Anyway, we're back at the forest where we found the place. We found where the elements were stored. I just realized, what the frick? Why in the show were the elements in a random room? I mean, they did retcon it, I guess, because it's a pilot. They have the liberty to change things, but if you know where they are in the main show, then they wouldn't be in that random hallway. They would be in the center of the castle throne room in the floor. That is where they are placed. That's where they are supposed to be. So that's where they go. And they're looking around for it maybe, and we trigger some secret passages and we have fun Castlemania uh like callbacks or something, and then we find them on the floor. And Twilight tries doing the spark and it doesn't work. And it's like, oh, maybe she needs to focus. That whole thing is fine. And Nightmare Moon arriving and teleporting them away, and them all being like, huh, what the frick? Where is she? Where did she go? Does that work? Do I like that? Where would they be then? Because the castle throne room is the most iconic place in that. So where were they hidden? Maybe like we can have them find the thing in the floor, but they weren't there. Oh no, where would they be? And then they look around and they find them maybe in the library. And it could be like a wow, like a like a oh my gosh, this is so crazy, they were in the library. It's almost as if Twilight was meant to find them. Haha. And then they're there, and then she tries doing the spark and it doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Oh no. And then Nightmare Moon appears in there, and then she teleports them to the throne room, and they're looking around everywhere. And we have the scene where Twilight tries to fight her, and this can be a really well choreographed, amazingly CGI'd effects. Oh, like, because Twilight is a very powerful unicorn right now. And she still fails, and all the elements are destroyed. Oh no, I'm just retelling the main show, the main plot with the extra things. And at this point, we can have all the other 5 come in from different rooms to be surrounding the thing. That would be really fun symbolism, right? Because there's a secret passageway to get to the thrones, and there's 4 different ways. That is what happens in Castlemania, by the way, if you don't remember. So anyway, and it would be good because that's where we can get the last one was in the thing. Yep, makes sense. I know what I'm talking about. And Nightmare Moon gets defeated because this time all the time I spent listening to them, all of that pays off now because we actually spent time making friends and learning to love them. And by now it makes sense, friendship is magic, and we all get their magical girl transformations into their pony forms. And in the magical blast that purifies her, we could have a scene where it's like in the end, it's like at the end of season 4, where they all transform and they go around bringing back to all their respective pony kinds like their magic and strength and stuff. That would be really fun. But that can be like they just do it because it's like, like magicalness happens, and they do that. And they go, wow, did we just do that? Oh, my Celestia. Speaking of Celestia, is she? And then she appears from the window behind the throne room again. Maybe not like exactly like in season 4, or maybe it could be like a, what happened? Oh my gosh, we look so good! And then, like, their outfits can be revamped a little bit, and they're glowy and all pretty, and Rarity can be like, oh my gosh, my outfit is so cute, like she did with the tail, and she can even gush about her tail, like, oh my god, it's like having hair, but more, or something. And then, Celestia comes in like, yes, I saw the signs, and Princess Luna, sister, that whole thing happens again. And then she goes, I'm sorry. It's just, I got so mad. And there was like, and when, we could even talk about the Pony of Shadows a little bit. It's like, and it could be like, the darkness, it spoke to me and it made me feel safe, but I never meant for it to go this far. It's all right, Luna. You are forgiven. You didn't know what you were doing. And then it's like a friendship. And then she goes, bearers of the elements or something. You now have the power to bring back pony magic to our kind. And then they all go do the season 4 finale thing where they go to everyone. And then once they're at the celebration, when the festival thing happens, and everyone's happy, and of course the main six have to look the most cute, because of course they're the main characters, and Celestia can go look down at Twilight and go, well, I suppose you found who you're going to the Grand Galloping Gala with at the end of the month? I sure do. Or maybe even like after they finish bringing back, because if I wanted to include the gala, I think it should just be like that's the end of the movie. Or because we need to see the gala, right? We gotta see the gala. We gotta see those outfits. We gotta see them in real life as dresses. So it would be like after they're done bringing magic back. Like we cut to at the end of the month, or like, or just we don't even need to say that, just like we pan up to Canterlot Castle, everyone's dressed up for the Great Galloping Gala, and they can be like, I still can't believe you picked us, Twilight. I can. I'm awesome. Get it? Because yeah. And it's just, oh, girls, I just really couldn't imagine going with anyone other than you. And then we meet Celestia at the front of the gala, and she can be like, everyone, give it up to the savior of Equestria, the not the main six, and we can list all their names like Rainbow Dash, Fluttershy, Pinkie Pie, all of them. You six have really proved that friendship is magic. And we could even have us like at the scene at the end where Moondancer comes back and she goes, Twilight, I was so worried about you. Are you okay? Why, yes, Moondancer. Here, let me introduce you to my friends. And then like the movie ends with them all hanging out and having fun with each other. And then the book the book closes. I don't know. And it could be panning out with like Celestia's monologue, because we're showing that the magic of friendship grows. And it could be that leitmotif at the end as Moondancer meets all of them, and even the other friends from Canterlot meet them, and they all start talking together, and it's like, and this was, and that's how one simple unicorn and her 5 amazing friends proved that the magic of friendship grows. And then we cut to the end. The end of the, and then we close the book. Or no, frick. No, frick. Even better, like we close the book and it could be like at the end of the show where Twilight is the Celestia and all her friends are there and they're all reading, and they all read that and they're all like tearing up like, oh my gosh, that was so cute. Like, I can't believe Celestia wrote that. It's like Celestia actually made that into a book. And I only found out now. This came out like back when that happened. And other ponies are like, I can believe it, like, yup. And like we see them all grown up, and we see like, or something like that, and then the scene, Or this could be an after credits scene. No, because then that would allude to another movie. Or, okay, maybe a way to make it work. Yeah, a way to make it work would be if Lester Dawn is the one who was reading it there, and she finishes reading it, and as she looks up and she sees all of them and goes, "But I don't get it. You all really did all that with your friendship?" Like, "Oh yeah, and much more than that too. If you want to learn all about that, you can ask Spike. I'm pretty sure he finished writing like he oh my god, he's the author of all the 9 seasons. The 9 seasons are Spike's cuz he writes. That would be so good. That would be so good. Like Spike did a really good job at somehow putting all of that together as it was happening, and then like we pan to Spike all grown up now. Like, did you really do all that? Well, it wasn't that much. I mean, like he can be all shy about it. There's 9 books. Get it? Cause 9 seasons. I don't know. That would be real. That would be too. That'd be a stretch. But hey, I'm having fun. It's an idea. If I'm allowed to be as indulgent as I want to be, this came out really long, but that's just how I think it would work. I don't know. Thank you so much if you're still here. Oh my gosh. This is insane. If I had the patience to sit down and edit this all, I low key might do that. Like, I low key might sit down and edit this out or just make a better script for it and have a live read through with some of my friends because this is so much fun to me. I love concepting and I love just yapping about stuff until a story comes to mind. That's how I write Oof, sorry. That's how I write most of the things I do. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. If you did stay here till the end, I love you so much. And here's to hoping that the My Little Pony live action, it probably won't be any of what I just came up with, but here's to hoping it's somewhat good. I don't know how good it could be because we all know kind of what it already is gonna be, but uh, you know, yeah. Well, thank you so much for watching. I don't really have a or more listening. This is more of a podcast thing. I should release these as podcasts. But yeah, I love you. Goodbye.